All right, welcome back to Agency Journey. I'm your host, Gray McKenzie from Zen Pilot, and today I've got the pleasure of bringing on Tyler Dolph. Tyler is a father of two. He is a husband to Anne. He's the CEO of RocketClicks, which is a hyper-focused digital marketing and advertising agency located in, Tyler, great on pronunciation, Menominee Falls, Wisconsin.
Yeah, pretty close. Menominee.
There we go. Well, welcome, Tyler. I'm pumped to have you here.
Thanks so much for the opportunity.
So you guys are roughly 50-ish people?
Yeah, 55, somewhere in there.
Can you, I hate kind of opening up and giving people the, hey, tell me your life story type of thing, but how old is the agency right now? Let's try and just give people a picture of kind of the agency.
2008.
Okay, cool. So you're 15 years in. Congrats on hitting 15 years.
You can almost try.
What's the growth to 50 folks? Is that like slow and steady along the way or big inflection points here or there?
Big inflection points for sure. It's been more like glass ceiling, breaking through whatever that proverbial glass ceiling is in our journey and adopting different systems and processes. Yeah, it's definitely been a marathon though, for sure.
So I met you at the EOS conference in Indianapolis here a couple months ago. Where did EOS figure into the journey? Did you come across that pretty early on or towards the last half of the journey?
I took over the business 8 years ago, and we adopted and integrated EOS in my first year.
Wow.
So yeah, we've been running exclusively on EOS for over 7 years.
I want to come back to that, but what does take over the agency mean? You were working there?
Yes. So I'll give you the long version since we're on a podcast. I come from a sales and marketing background. I was working at a very large event marketing company here in Milwaukee, and it caused me to travel almost every week. So every week I was on a plane running an event. One day I was flying back to Denver, where I'm from originally, to run Oktoberfest, and I got on this Delta flight, and I was sitting in the exit row, and this plane was an interesting plane, and the stewardess had this jumper seat that sort of came down, and she made eye contact with you the whole flight. It was very, very weird, but it was one of those planes. And so I sit down, I open, whatever business book I'm reading at the time. This guy next to me comes, sits down, same thing. We sort of exchange pleasantries, but nothing more. We take off, and we end up landing in Denver. Everyone's getting up to get their bags and such. And someone from behind us comes up and just starts like berating the stewardess, just yelling at the stewardess for something that had happened. I don't remember exactly what it was, but this guy next to me, he saves the day. Like he intervenes, he calms everyone down, and it was magical. And I thought, I got to know who this guy is. So I end up chatting him up through the jet bridge, and in Denver, you have to take a train to get to baggage claim. And so I'm just chatting him up, telling him all the things because I'm so enamored with his ability to calm the situation down. And anyway, one thing leads to another. He tells me that he has and owns this small digital marketing agency, and I tell him I'm looking for something different because I'm traveling too much or I'm trying to start a family. So just all these things happen. Well, it turns out that the guy I was sitting next to is a founder and owner of RocketClicks. And at that time, RocketClicks was very small, 8 people, maybe 10 clients. And it was part of another organization, and RocketClicks was sort of just a talent hub for this other larger organization. So I got the opportunity to come in and do some business development work. About 6 months into that, the president at the time ended up leaving to start a business with his father. Jeff, same guy, brings me in his office, says, listen, you guys aren't very big. You're not making a ton of money. I'm going to give you the chance to run the business for the next 12 months. And if you can grow it a little bit, great, you'll have it. Otherwise, I think we're going to just shut it down because nothing's really happening. So all because I sat down on this random flight in this random exit row, I got the opportunity to take over RocketClicks, eventually became a partner in the business, and we've had a hell of a journey since, but it's a unique way to get into this business.
That is wild. Agency owners putting out client fires and other people's fires for decades.
Just saying.
That's amazing. So then how, I'm kind of mixing back and forth the stories here, but where did the exposure to EOS come from? Was that you found it?
So Jeff, who's my partner in the business today, he runs a law firm day to day. So he's heavily involved in running that business, and him and I are both sort of business book. We just love the podcast and business books and all the things. And he read Traction one day, 8 years ago, and said, "Hey, you should check this out." So I read it, was like, okay, yeah, cool, best practices. And I don't know how many of your listeners are on EOS, but the journey that I've heard is you try to implement it yourself, you fall on your face, and then you actually get serious and you get an implementer. And we were 100% that. Our leadership team at the time was like, oh, we got this. We'll do these L10 things and we'll create these rocks. And it just didn't take hold for a number of reasons. So we hired an incredible implementer out of Minnesota, and John LaFotz is his name, and he changed our whole world. He changed our life here at Rocket Clicks. He helped us institute process and create an awesome VTO and really establish the vision for the agency that we still utilize today.
Yeah, that's amazing. How many years have you been to the EOS conference?
We have exhibited and sponsored every EOS conference.
Wow.
Since its inception.
I didn't realize that. Why? I mean, are trade shows part of your normal go-to-market plan?
No, it's the only trade show we exhibit at. And now it's more of a reunion than a trade show, really, because all the great people that are there. But we just found that we love working with EOS businesses. We have a common language. We've become part of their business. We sit in their marketing L10s. We have a seat at the table. And having that commonality and understanding it has been a great bridge for us to be able to help us grow our businesses and also support businesses all over the country.
Yeah, that's amazing. How helpful in reality, because this is a unique opportunity to talk to somebody who's running marketing for a lot of companies who run on EOS. So EOS on the VTO, on the vision side, you've got your purpose, cause, or mission. You've got your niche. You've got your three uniques, kind of the marketing plan. How helpful is that in actually deploying day-to-day marketing?
I think it's helpful from a vision standpoint, understanding where the company wants to go. I think that as an agency, we're extremely passionate about client service. Like retention is the number one metric that we talk about. How can we add value to our clients? How do we get them to stick around longer? And what we found is that by truly understanding what success looks like to our clients, the more we can understand that, the longer we will stay and the more value we'll add. And so that sort of starts the VTO, right? Like understanding where these business owners want to take their business, who they believe their target market is today. It's fun to test that theory and say, hey, your target market might be this externally, but online it might be this. But by having that foundation, it allows us to add more value faster.
Yeah, that makes sense. From a retention perspective, what are those? How does that get represented on your scorecard internally? Is that
it's a metric we track every day.
Logo retention or revenue retention?
Logo retention.
Logo retention.
Yeah, both. We do talk about both because there's some non-ideal clients in everyone's client book, sure. But understanding what the ratio of ideal clients are and then how long they're staying. And I think it's just to riff on retention for a second. It's really important to understand how long your clients are staying and then understand the inflection points that happen throughout the relationship to try and extend that life cycle. So for example, let's say your average retention is 1 year. Well, at the 6-month mark, you should be reselling your entire suite of services. At the 9-month mark, you better be like getting on a plane or understanding where they're at mentally, because by month 10 or 11, they're thinking about leaving. Right. So thankfully, and we're extremely grateful, our current client retention is over 2.5 years. So we keep our clients for a long time from an agency perspective, and we are continually trying to push that out further.
Yeah, that's amazing. What are there any strange things or things that might be useful to listeners that you found in terms of either the inflection points or what you've done to create an environment where people are being where clients are, where it makes sense to retain them for that long?
So our client retention strategy starts at our values. Like 3 out of our 5 values revolve around client service and response times and adding value and communicating, at a high level. I think one interesting trick that keeps coming up that seems very elementary is like, just ask. Like, literally ask the client how they're doing. How are we doing? What can we do better? Was this helpful? Did you get what you needed out of this call? Like, I think so often agencies or client service teams will come in with their own agenda. And so they'll jump on a monthly call and they'll just start, ripping off their agenda, as opposed to saying, hey, client, how's it going? How's business? What are you working on this week? Well, how's that rock coming along that we helped you prepare?
Right.
Gaining that insight is going to help you create a more robust conversation and have a better, more effective meeting.
Yeah. Do you also layer in any type of survey, like NPS is the classic example, but any type of surveying?
We do. I fought it for a long time. My argument always was, if we're doing what we're supposed to be doing, we should know how our clients are feeling. Like, if we're doing our job, we shouldn't need a survey to tell us whether or not we're doing good or bad. But using a survey, doing it in an unbiased fashion has added a lot of value. And so the team was right on that one. They win that little check mark. So we do both.
Yeah, that makes sense. How do you get honest answers from clients? And maybe tied to this is, how do you train team members to pursue honest answers from clients? Is there any kind of standardized, if I'm working at Rocket Clicks and I come on board and I'm in a client-facing role, do I go through any kind of standardized training?
Yes, you definitely go through a standardized training, but there's no silver bullet. I was listening to a Alex Hormozi podcast today, and he actually said, there's no silver bullet, but there's thousands of golden BBs. And I'm like, that's such a good point. You can make 1% improvements every single day and get better at any specific skill. And client service is no different, right? Understanding communication, picking up on, facial cues and what the client's saying, but really not saying. All of those little tactics are gained through experience and through teaching. And so we have a deep focus and process as it relates to teaching our team how to communicate, what to communicate. But it also takes reps. It takes being on those client calls and having the client ask a tough question or have them be not as clear as they should be, and forcing our team to ask why or to ask for more information.
One of the best tools that we've implemented our last 2 years is a tool called Avoma, AVOMA. And it just, joins Zoom or whatever call you're on, records it, video, audio, goes back and transcribes it, uses the AI to say, here's where you talked about pricing, here's where you got objections, here's where you were planning whatever. And then it allows you in that transcript to take, just select the body of text and comment back and forth. So if you're doing call reviews, you can kind of quickly speed stuff up or go to specific sections of calls and make these playlists internally. So I can take, from my side, as I was handing off sales, I was able to take one playlist and say, hey, these are good sales calls. Go listen to this one. I feel like I did a pretty good job here. But conversely, here's my bad call playlist. Here's the ones where I botched it. And you can see kind of my commentary around what I did poorly. Do you do anything like that, or has there been anything in terms of how because this has been an ongoing conversation lately, is how do we keep refining, training, improving our account managers or our project managers who are client facing? Has there been anything like that's been helpful for you?
We've just recently started recording and watching back those recordings. We don't have that tool. What was it? VOMA?
Avoma, AVOMA. I'll shoot it to you. Yeah.
Thank you. It's been hugely impactful. Just forcing our team to rewatch their meeting, because you don't know what's happening as you're sort of talking and presenting and doing all the things, and you rewatch it with a fresh set of eyes. Like, oh wow, I shouldn't have said so many times, or why did I pause in that weird way? And having that experience in training, if you think about like a golf school or golf shot, all the teachers want to record and have you watch yourself. Same's true for any other skill.
Yeah. We built this software platform, a project management platform way back in the day called Do Inbound. And we used this tool called Full Story that recorded user sessions. And they sent you, when you signed up, they sent you like this stack of papers, and it was all the game film. And like they played into the sports theme. It was a structured kind of sheet for everyone to sit around and take notes as you watch sessions together. That was the most painful thing to do. The button is right there. Please just click it. And people, wander around and it's not obvious to them, but it should be obvious. And you're exactly right. I mean, it's the same exact thing in customer service as well. Is we should be watching our game film and figuring out
100%.
How to get better from it.
But I also love the idea of creating a highlight reel.
Yeah.
So when you are training, say, here's what good looks like.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. Nobody knew that. I mean, the challenge in most agencies, the reality is there is no standardized training. You come in and you get, trained by Maggie and you look awesome. Like you learn all the best practices. And then someone else comes in and they get trained by Gray and it's like, scattered stuff all over the place. And it's not at all the right way to build. Standardizing it and then reviewing and coaching and showing what good looks like is a huge piece of it. So I love your kind of testimonial and credit to your EOS implementer being a big part of your journey. Have there been any other, we talk a lot about tools, like I recommended Avoma. That comes up all the time in agency circles. One of the things that doesn't come up all the time is any other great professional service providers that you've worked with. Has there been anyone who's represented to you've purchased and had a professional services engagement where you're like, hey team, this was so good coming from whomever. Have you had any engagements like that stick out?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I am your classic raging visionary. So just like I lit up when you told me about that new platform, like I get so excited about new shiny things that sometimes have incremental benefits, sometimes are game changers. I'll tell you that we recently, about a year ago, brought on a fractional CFO agency. So we had a bookkeeper now, so we've never had an official CFO. We're sort of trending in that direction at some point, but in the interim, we wanted to get a fractional CFO to sort of dip our toes in the water. And so we use Ramsey Innovations. And Ramsey's great because John Morris, their founder, is an agency CEO. He built Rise Interactive and sold it, and now is providing CFO services to agencies. So the CFO services are great, like no complaints. To me, that's like black or white. Like, are the numbers right or aren't they? The relationship and the key learnings that we've gotten from John and his team based on the fact that he's been to where we're trying to go has been immeasurable.
Yeah, that's amazing. To hear, that's not an area that most people rave about. Most people are not going, my accountant's awesome or my lawyer is awesome. Those are like the two last categories to hear about. But that's amazing. And the team at Ramsey Innovations definitely knows what they're doing.
One more, if I could.
Yeah, I love that.
A lot of this. We were really passionate, or are really passionate about personal development. And we tried book clubs and we bring in like a consultant to come do a 3-day training. And all that stuff's great, but they're like little blips, right? Like you get this really big euphoric uplift and then over time it sort of goes downward. Well, our president today, his name's Tony. He's unbelievable. He actually got trained in a leadership system called Giant. And Giant is something that we've incorporated across our entire organization. And it is a weekly series and training that our entire team goes through as it relates to leadership and understanding who you are so that you can lead yourself, so that you can lead others. And it has been transformational. It is the thing I hear most as CEO from our team that we're doing right.
That's awesome. I don't think I'm familiar. So I also will light up here and I'll look that one up. Well, along the leadership lines, how do you, you got a family at home. How do you balance time between being the CEO of an agency and then caring for your family well?
That's certainly something I've not perfected. I am not crushing that game. I think the tips and tricks I've found to work the best are simply prioritizing it, right? You can't work all the time. I am extremely blessed to have an incredible team that works here at Rocket Clicks that runs the business day to day. It allows me to really do what I like to do, which is build new relationships and create new opportunities for the business. And so it's just prioritizing it. And when you're home, be home. Like put your phone in a drawer, put your Apple Watch in a drawer. Your kids know that they catch me all the time. I'll like pretend to go to the kitchen to get a snack, and really I'm checking emails or something.
Yep.
So it's certainly not perfect, like I said, but it really comes down to being aware of where you're at, and then being able to dedicate that focus and mind share to that activity. So then you're not trying to do two things at once.
Right. That makes sense. Are you, is the whole team in the office? Are you using a physical office?
They were in March of 2020. We had 34 employees then, all in here in Menominee Falls near Milwaukee. And I think like a lot of businesses, gave everyone a box like, hey, just take some stuff home. You'll be back in a week. It'll be fine. And since then we sort of downsized. So we still have an office. People can show up and work. My theory is like, I want the office to be an escape from home. So like you used to go to a coffee shop when you were in office. I want our office to sort of be that escape if you need to get out, and people come in sporadically, but I have 6-year-old, 3-year-old little boys. So I need the routine. I need to get up and get out of the house. So we maintain the office, but it is not what it was.
Life looks a little different.
Yes, it does.
Has anything been super effective around kind of maintaining that culture as you've gone about? And now there's people who are working at RocketClicks who never had that in-office experience.
Well, a couple things. So the benefit is obviously we get to hire people nationwide. So we don't have to settle for B's or C's. We can just hire A's. What we've done that has really helped the culture, because I sort of believe that everyone comes in with their culture battery full and then it depletes over time. We fly in every new employee to have their first week of employment at RocketClicks HQ. We have our team come in, we do lunches, all our local team members, they'll come in, and we make sure that they have a really great welcome to RocketClicks. They do all their IT setup and all the stuff. So that's been huge. And then we do 2 or 3 all team events every single year. So bring everyone back, fly everyone in for a Brewer game, local baseball team here in town, and then we fly everyone in for an annual celebration to celebrate the year prior, award ceremony, whole deal. So that's been key. People love those. As we've grown, it's harder and harder to bring 50 people or 100 people back. So we're in discussions about how we maintain that culture as we continue to scale. Is it sub teams that come in or departments that come in instead? So we're working through that right now.
Right. That makes sense. I thought what you said there was interesting, that people come in with their culture battery full. Where does that belief come from? And maybe tell me more about that.
I think it's, I don't know where it comes from. It's just, everyone's excited for a new job and they want to give it their all. And then over time, plaque builds up. And if you have a shitty meeting, or you don't do as well as you thought you were doing, or you didn't get the promotion you thought you were going to get, or whatever happens, right? Life happens. And if you're not recharging that battery, if you're not having the team come together and support each other in a real way, you're gonna get frustrated. And so we also do weekly all team meetings. Every Friday we meet and we talk. We call it industry updates. So we talk about what's happening with the algorithms and AI and everything that's there. But we also have a shout out portion where team members shout each other out for things that are great based on our values. And that's really important to just keeping up the culture.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that's figuring out like what's that sweet spot. How do we create experiences? It's one thing that I'm trying to figure out at ZenPilot is how do we create experiences that can recharge that battery? I think of like in my own marriage, every time, and this could be in any relationship, but every time, it could be anything. You can get rejected with something you want, disappointed by someone not, expectations just not being met. And all those can kind of become, if you hang on to those all become pebbles that weigh into a bag of like justification for whatever you want to then go, how do I justify my own selfishness? Is kind of like I'm loading up this bag with rocks that tip the scales where it's okay, now I'm allowed to go be selfish. That's not at all what we want. We should have a healthy relationship. Those are like, hey, brought in, and there's a ritual and a rhythm around, hey, I'm releasing these, I'm forgiving, or I'm understanding. And so there's no buildup of that plaque. Same thing in a work environment, to your point, like how do we build the experiences and the opportunities for people to have that kind of recharge. And my expectations weren't met here, but I'm not going to hang on to that. I'm going to let that go.
The things that I talked about were on like sort of the corporate, like holistic level. One thing I forgot about is we give every manager a stipend to do team only things. So for the team, the managers that are managing a virtual team, they'll do a virtual scavenger hunt or virtual trivia or send everybody lunch one day and then they'll all get on Zoom and eat lunch together. It's like little moments and then big moments, right? That all culminate into charging that battery.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, I got 2 questions left for you, and then I'll make sure I get you out of here on time. But one is kind of as we look forward here over the second half of 2023, what's on the radar for Rocket Clicks? What are you guys pushing into, or what are you personally most excited about?
I'm very excited about AI. I think everyone is, right? It's like the hottest topic ever. But I think in a different way. I believe that as AI continues to evolve and create efficiencies for agencies, for example, like, when I first started 8 years ago, all we talked about was bid management. We take it up a penny, drop it by a penny. We're going to be so efficient with your budget because we got all the levers. Well, levers are gone, right? And they're going to continue to go away. And I'm very excited about that because I believe it's going to transition more into like a doctor-patient relationship. As in, being the doctor, I have access to every drug available. And I can prescribe those on a very individual, personalized level based on what I know about the patient. How old they are, what season they're in, what kind of shape they're in currently, all the things, all those factors are going to go into my recommendation and my prescription. Well, the same thing is true about marketing, right? There's so many platforms, there's so many initiatives, so many cool things. But the more you know where your client's at, what season they're in, how their business is doing, who their target market is, what the lifetime value is, all the things that encompass a client relationship, the more effective you're going to be able to drive a personalized strategy. And so I think I'm doubling down in the idea that client service and strategy matters more than anything and is going to continue to matter because you can't AI that, right? And so we're really focused and excited about our dedication to client service and having those personalized relationships with our clients so that we can build those prescriptions on an individual level.
Yeah, makes total sense. I think there's this whole sub-theme that like we'll look back on from this period of time where most companies fall into this visionary integrated relationship and leadership, whether they're running on EOS and use those terms or not. And so all the visionaries that I talk to right now are still real. Like we are, we're playing with Mid-Journey during the day, and then we're like ChatGPT, Bard, and whatever else at night, and learning about vector databases and whatever else. And then there's the integrators who are trying to pick up pieces of all these crazy ideas and like, what does this mean for us today? It's like, no, you don't get it. Like, this is the future. And it's like, yeah, but to get to the future, we got to live each day at a time. So there's this sub-theme of all these conversations I'm having with agency owners and leaders who are like kind of battling back and forth on what's practical. How do we actually allocate our time here? Which is kind of funny.
Can I give you a theory, an AI theory that I think could be fun?
Yeah.
So if we believe that everyone's going to utilize AI, and let's take content, for example, everyone's going to use AI for content, which means all of the content is going to be at like whatever the best AI level is. Let's call that like an 8.
Yep.
Well, there's going to be this opportunity to create level 10 content that is going to rise above the rest and be able to dominate across whatever, specific topic that is. And so it'll be interesting to watch as AI evolves and people continue to utilize it, that there's going to be all this like level 8 content out there. Who's going to focus on delivering that level 10? Rolls-Royce does pretty well, and they're still handmade vehicles, right?
Right.
So I think there's always an opportunity to capitalize in different environments.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, last question for you. If you could give agency operators out there your number one tip for running kind of a more efficient, less chaos filled, more clarity filled agency? What's that top tip or top couple tips?
A couple I've learned over time is when you're small and mighty, revenue is oxygen. Double down on sales. Don't worry so much about retention. Like, you just need to figure shit out and you need to get people in the door. As you scale and as you grow, target market becomes more important than ever. Understanding who are you best at serving. We did this exercise recently. It was really great. We put our top 10 revenue generating clients on the board. We asked our team, who are your top 5 or top 10 favorite clients to work with? We put them on the board, and then we said, who are our best performing? Like, who do we just dominate? And we would love to have 10 of that. And we put them on the board. And then we just looked at, like, where were the commonalities? What were the features and benefits? All the things that created this perfect client. And then we were able to categorize that. Like, that is our target market. That's who we're going to go after. And we're still going to say yes to some other things, but our bullseye is this, and here are the reasons. And so by doubling down on that target market and who you're best at is going to allow you to scale faster.
That's awesome. Tyler, this has been great. I appreciate you making time to come on and share here today. Rocket Clicks, we'll make sure that we get the website in the show notes, but anywhere you want to point people to follow along or anything else you want to plug?
LinkedIn would be great. Love interacting with everyone on LinkedIn. I'm an open book. If you have any questions or want to just chat about building an agency, I'm your guy. But I really appreciate the opportunity.
Awesome. Thanks, Tyler. This has been great.
Thanks so much.